Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Exclusive, Warriors G. Brandon Podziemski makes one thing clear to Steve Kerr on starting. After supplanting Klay Thompson from the starting lineup in the middle of his rookie year, Brandon Podziemski was poised to become a full-time starter in his second year. The expectations went sky-high after Golden State Warriors owner Joe Lacob boldly declared during the NBA Summer League that Podziemski is a future All-Star. But amid the Warriors' blitzing 9-2 start, Podziemski found himself in a different role, coming off the bench. "I don't think I really thought I was either gonna start or come off the bench," Podziemski told Heavy.com in an exclusive interview. "For me, it didn't really matter. I talked to Steve Kerr about it, and I just kind of made it clear that it didn't matter to me. It was just kind of I just want to play. And so whether that's coming off the bench or starting, that's all I really cared about." Podziemski's numbers have dropped slightly this season compared to his first year, in which he earned first-team All-Rookie honors. In 10 games so far this season, including 3 spot starts when Stephen Curry was out with a left ankle sprain, Podziemski is averaging 8.2 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.4 assists against 1.5 turnovers in 25.5 minutes. It's slightly worse than his rookie stats of 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists against 1.2 turnovers in 26.6 minutes. His shooting clip, however, is much worse, 38.9% from 45.4% last season. He's also shooting an abysmal 19.5% from the three-point line this season. But the Warriors have been 6.4 points better in 100 possessions when Podziemski is on the court, per Basketball Reference. Podziemski is more than willing to sacrifice personal glory for team success, which they are enjoying at the moment. Kerr has been using Podziemski in a similar role Chris Paul had last season. Podziemski has gleaned from his experience playing with Paul, a 12-time NBA All-Star and one of the remaining traditional point guards in the league. He's also continuously learning from Curry, who revolutionized the game as a modern-day point guard. "I think it was a little bit of learning from Chris and learning from Steph, both being point guards and being able to lead their team," Podziemski told Heavy.com. "And now, it's my job in the second unit to lead us." Podziemski takes a lot of pride in the Warriors bench leading the NBA this season in scoring, with him the point guard. At 58.0 points per game, they are on pace to surpass the Los Angeles Clippers bench's 53.2-point scoring average during the 2018-19 season. "I couldn't be more happy to see that," Podziemski said. "I don't think the last 2 games the second unit, have played up to our standard, but I think from an overall perspective of the first 11 games, from my perspective as a leader and someone who contributes a lot to our second unit's success, I couldn't be more pleased." With starting shooting guard De'Anthony Melton out with a sprained ACL, there is an open spot in the starting lineup. How Warriors' new blood on coaching staff already paying dividends. 2 reasons behind the Warriors winning 10 of their first 12 games this season are linked because both are the fruits of positive change. The obvious move is retooling the roster. General Manager Mike Dunleavy and his cohorts in the front office added 3 veterans, Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield and De'Anthony Melton. The result is an overall upgrade. Less obvious, but just as significant, is the retooling of the coaching staff. Head coach Steve Kerr brought in veteran coach Terry Stotts to fine-tune the offense and NBA player-turned-coach Jerry Stackhouse to reform the defense. "Both Terry and Jerry have been wonderful fits," Kerr said Sunday after practice. "Sometimes you need new blood on the roster, and sometimes you need it on the coaching staff. You need different voices. You need different experiences." Stotts, 66, was a 4-year starter at the University of Oklahoma who has spent the past 42 years coaching at various levels, most notably as head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers for 9 seasons ending in 2020-21. The Warriors are fourth in offensive rating, 118.4, third in scoring, 121.3 points per game, and second in three-point shooting percentage, 39.2. In those respective categories last season, they were 9th, 116.9, 8th, 117.8, and 7th, 38.0. Stackhouse, 50, was an All-America at North Carolina before being selected number 3 overall in the 1995 NBA Draft. After an 18-season NBA career, which included 2 All-Star Game appearances and ended in 2013, he entered coaching. After finishing 15th in defense rating, 114.5, last season, Golden State is 4th, 107.9, so far this season. The Warriors, 18th in points allowed last season, have moved up to 8th this season. They've risen from 23rd to 4th in steals, from 23rd to 8th in blocks. Only one team, Houston, is allowing fewer fast break points. 19 teams allowed fewer such points last season. We're playing both ends, Kerr said. We're top 5 in both offense and defense, playing a lot of people, and everybody we play is coming in and playing with great energy. As a coach, that's kind of the holy grail. The staff changes were necessary. Dejan Milojevic, hired in 2021 primarily to coach Golden State's big men, passed away in January and was not immediately replaced. Grizz coach Jenkins calls out Dre foul with Warriors code reference. The lore between the Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies goes way back and, in this case, back to 2022. After Golden State's 123-118 win over Memphis on Friday at Chase Center, Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins invoked now-famous code comments made by Warriors coach Steve Kerr during the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. But this time, the comment was made about Warriors forward Draymond Green after his foul on Grizzlies rookie Zach Edey, which Jenkins clearly believed crossed a line. Overall, thought he was really good, Jenkins said of Edey, hat tip ESPN. And very disappointing, there was that one play, we were about to start the break and he's been playing really hard to try to outlet, and Draymond grabs his leg and pulls him down and it doesn't get reviewed. So I know there's a code in this league, and I don't understand how that wasn't reviewed. Very disappointing. While Green originally was called for a transition take foul, the NBA upgraded the incident to a flagrant 1 foul Saturday after review. Green didn't appreciate Jenkins' comments either, insinuating the Grizzlies coach is soft with a post on his Instagram story Saturday and commenting, "Shut up," on a post of what Jenkins said. There was plenty of talk about code when the Grizzlies and Warriors faced off in the 2022 conference semifinals, with Kerr taking exception to a flagrant 2 foul by Dillon Brooks on Gary Payton II, which broke the latter's elbow, in Game 2 of the series. There is a code, Kerr said of the play at the time. This code that players follow where you never put a guy's season, or, career in jeopardy by taking somebody out in midair and clubbing him across the head, ultimately fracturing Gary's elbow. He broke the code. Dillon Brooks broke the code. What ensued was a back-and-forth of code accusations, including Ja Morant accusing Jordan Poole of breaking it when Poole appeared to grab at Morant's knee in Game 3. Whether or not Jenkins meant to bring up codes of games past with his comments Friday night, that word certainly holds a heavy connotation for Dub Nation and Grizzlies fans alike. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Taylor Jenkins? Leave your opinion in the comments.